In this video, I'd like to give you a big bonus that follows directly on from what we covered in category 7 in the last video. So we were looking at how English words ending in IC go to ICO in Spanish, and we had examples such as classic going to clásico and toxic going to tóxico. Now the big bonus is that also words ending in ICAL go to ICO in Spanish. So we would have, say, classical also as clásico. So a curious thing happens here. As you can see, we have the word classic going to clásico, but also the word classical going to clásico. In Spanish, it's the same thing. They don't have a different word for it as we do in English. Another example might be, say, historic. So we learned in the last video how that would go to histórico, but historical would also go to histórico. So once again, we have historic going to histórico and historical going to histórico. So this adds even more words to your vocabulary. Let's dig in and try to do a few more examples. So here we have the word mechanic. How would you say mechanic in Spanish? Mecánico. Now, how would you say the word mechanical in Spanish? Mecánico. So it's the exact same thing. How would you say it's something mechanical? Es algo mecánico. Try to say the word electric in Spanish. Eléctrico. And the word electrical is the same, eléctrico. Try to say fanatic. Fanático. Now try to say fanatical. Fanático. Now there are many more words ending in ICAL which kind of stand on their own 2 feet. For example, try to say political. Político. Practical. Práctico. Say it's typical. Es típico. How would you say it's quite technical? Es bastante técnico. The word for book in Spanish is libro. So we have libro, libro. And the book would be el libro, because libro is a masculine word because it ends in O. And so the is going to be masculine el libro. How would you say the book is identical? El libro es idéntico. How would you say the book is very technical? El libro es muy técnico. Now let's move on and try to describe some things. Again, remembering that we had the book, el libro, and a book would be un libro. So un is masculine for one rather than una, which would be feminine. So it always matches. We have a masculine word ending in o, so we have un libro. Again, ending in o here, so it would be el libro. How would you say the book is very technical? El libro es muy técnico. How do you think you would say a technical book? And be careful with this one. Un libro técnico. So did you get again that in Spanish first we say what it is, un libro, and then we describe it as being technical, rather than in English we say a technical first and then the book at the end. So the word order gets reversed in Spanish. A technical book becomes un libro técnico, a book technical. Try again with this one. How would you say a big book? Un libro grande. How do you think you would say it's a big and very technical book? Es un libro grande y muy técnico. Once again, we first state what it is. Es un libro. Then we tag on the description. Grande y muy técnico. The word for man in Spanish is hombre, spelt H-O-M-B-R-E. But of course, we ignore the H in our pronunciation and we start from here. Hombre, hombre. Now this is a masculine word, so it would be el hombre for the man, and a man would be un hombre, un hombre. How might you say a big man? Un hombre grande. What about a big and elegant man? Un hombre grande y elegante. So the same principle is at work. First, what it is. A man, un hombre. Then the description, grande y elegante. Once again, we've covered quite a lot of material in this video, so quickly to recap, we saw how carrying on directly from category 7, not only will classic become clásico, but also words ending in ICAL, like classical, will also go to clásico. So this really adds a lot of extra words to your vocabulary without any extra effort, because in Spanish, it's the same word for both. We don't need to remember something new for that, which is very, very useful, because sometimes you might want to say classic in a sentence because it sounds the most natural in English, while other times you will want to say classical, right? So we have that variation in English, but in Spanish it's the same thing. So this immediately doubles our vocabulary for that category. Also, then we went on having more practice with describing things, and the most important thing to learn there and to kind of ingrain into your memory is that we always state what it is first, and then we tag on the description afterwards.